Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind of the Terry's Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're gonna talk about the Earth element. Now, the motherfucker. Now, when you talk about the Earth element, now we gotta talk about a few generalizations, real fast. Now, Earth signs plant seeds. It's the root of things of that nature. So when you want to look at Earth and things of that nature, it's always coming from the root of something. So when you look at the root, what is the root? The root is something, and the root is always dark. The root is look at its dirt. You look at grass. Look at the land. Look at trees and things of that nature. So when you look at Earth signs and things of that nature, a lot of times this what makes Earth signs deep. This will make Earth signs, they deep and they can be dark. But a lot of times you may never see that because they only choose to show their sunny side, which is what you look at grass, you look at trees and things of that nature. But but a lot of times when you're looking at the Earth element, and I'm talking about as these traits can play out through the humans, all humans, but majority through Earth. But for the most part, I'm talking about the energy itself. When you look at Earth and things of that nature, you see the basic mechanisms of things and things of that nature. Like, so when it's coming out of the ground, when it's growing out of the root, from the seed, from a dark place, from deep, a lot of times it plays out through humans as, it plays out through Earth humans and things of that nature, that they may be hard on themselves. You see what I'm saying? They may criticize themselves because when they see lack of growth, lack of stability, lack of fruits of labor, lack of growth, this can make them highly uncomfortable. You see what I'm saying? So it play out in humans every day, especially people with a lot of Earth energy, every day as being nervous when they don't have nothing to fall on, nothing, or they're not seeing growth, or they're not seeing no stability or things of that nature, because it's coming from the basic mechanism of when you see growth and things of that nature, Earth, before you see it, is coming out of a root. It's coming from a deep, dark place, right? But if you look, what looks bad? The desert. Lands with no grass, no trees, or a rainforest with no trees on shit. Why do it look bad, right? Because it look like there's no growth there, right? So it look like it's unlivable, unstable. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the worst thing Earth sign we even want to live in. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I'm talking about from an energetic force. When they feel unstable, when they feel like they're not growing, or they feel like it's nothing to fall back on. They're not seeing the sunny side of nothing. They're not seeing no life. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when it comes into these mechanisms, they may need certain fire signs around them, aka light and energy, in order to spark the transformation for something to grow. A lot of times they may need water. They may need to soak up some water for something to get, so they can have the nutrients, the courage, aka the soul, the passion to get up to actually do something, to create the foundation, to actually start to broaden out and span out. You know what I'm saying? And then it need air sometimes. It needs the wind to blow through the cracks and crevices. Sometimes it need new ideas, new shapes, new forms, new concepts. You know what I'm saying? New archetypes, new manufacturers. You know what I'm saying? But the Earth is going to be what the Earth gonna be, and that's foundated. That's with 2 feet on the ground. You know what I'm saying? So they sturdy. You know what I'm saying? This makes them real in reality, but it makes them deep and dark, because when you talk about before you even see the fruits of labor or something like that, it comes from a deep dark place, and a lot of times that deep dark place throw them in situations that make them do things so they can see growth, so they don't stay stagnate, or so they don't, you know what I'm saying, because of that fear of being seen as a desert, or being seen as something with no fruits or no labor, no nothing coming from the trees of it, or nothing like that. You see what I'm saying? So it plays out in all 3 different ways. And then you got the 3 earth signs. You have Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So Capricorn is cardinal, Taurus is fixed, Virgo is mutable. So if you want to look at it, you'll look at it like this. You see Capricorn would be like the person drawing out the blueprint, the archetype. You see what I'm saying? Taurus would be the one building the building and is the actual building. And Virgo will be the one sitting back, analyzing, seeing if every brick is perfectly set in place, and is this a livable building, or a building that's can be up and running for business or not. You see what I'm saying? So they all correlate and work with each other. And if you want to talk about the second, sixth, and the 10th house, the second house is the house of planting seeds. The sixth house is the house of, the second house is planting seeds and valuing that seed. Sixth house is working on that seed every day as a routine on a day-to-day basis, aka watering it, and that's your project, that's something you're working on. And the 10th house is actually the status of it. It's actually seeing the flower blossom and bloom and being all it can actually be, and actually being, and you know what I'm saying, that's the status of it. And that's how it's seen, that's what it's known for. So for the most part, earth signs love stability, love growth, but they could be deep and dark just to themselves. So a lot of times you never know how deep a earth sign thinking, because they're not going to bring it to the surface. They're going to make sure it makes sense first. They're going to make sure it's practical. But if you got a chaotic earth sign, then that means the roots run very deep. So if a lot of time, if it's in their family, a lot of crazy people in their family, or a lot of different things that's going on with them in their family, and the roots run deep, a lot of times it just play out through these people's attributes. They may have a few bad fruits, rotten fruits on their tree limbs. You know what I'm saying? For time. But you still have to respect the tree for being a tree. That's how earth signs coming. You know what I'm saying? The earth energy. So earth energy is dealing with growth. Manifestation, using the elements to be able to create and see what the actual elements can be formulated into something. You know what I'm saying? Actually see what light can be used for. Actually see what water can be used for. Actually see what air can be used for. Earth is the machine to do that. You know what I'm saying? Earth is based upon machine, mechanics. Your vessel, a machine, a mechanic. So it's going to be based upon something that your energy can be filtered through. So it's part of your energy. You see what I'm saying? It's the physicality. It's what matters. You know what I'm saying? If fire was the spirit, the frequency, if water was the soul, the vibration, and if air was like the DNA that transfer everything, right? Then earth gonna be the energy, what matters. And what matters to you become into matter and becomes physical. You see what I'm saying? So this is why earth signs are dealing with the senses. This is the common sense. So you have to look at senses. When you say earth signs, a lot of times it could play out in two ways when we talk about the senses and when we talk about things of that nature, because it could play out in the real left, because they already left brain, but it could play out in a real left brain way, but it could play out in the right brain way too. You know what I'm saying? All elements could go right and left brain. You just have the fire and water more right, the air and earth more left. There's no right or wrong. You need to combine both of these as a complete to get anywhere in life. But and the more and more you do that, the better you be successful at whatever you was doing that at. But that's another video. But when we talk about earth, now, when I say they're the masters of the senses, which makes sense, the common sense of things of that nature, and when we talk about earth in general as sense in general, now they like to make sense of things, but it's dealing with the sense metaphorically also. So when we talk about common sense, now common sense, now this could go two ways. Too left brain is too practical, rational. But they could go right brain too superficial with it, too etheric with it. Now this is what I mean by it. Now look at earth. Now say the five senses: touch, taste, smell, see, hear. Now to touch something, right? You can touch it. So you have certain earth signs that's too reality based. So everything has to be reality based, too realistic. They have to touch it. It has to be tangible. It has to be part of nature. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them can't see life past nature, which nature is just an earth thing. You know what I'm saying? Things that's natural is a bigger frequency. But that's another video. But when we talk about that's the left brain, two left brain earth signs. But then you have the right brain one too. To the one that you could touch somebody by feeling them too. So these are the more right brain Tauruses, which is still a left brain, but they know how to tap into the deep dark roots instead of only the sunny side, only what you can see. They know how to tap into what you can't see. So these Tauruses is into music. They know how to do these are like Chris Brown type Tauruses and Tauruses who into metaphysics and things of that nature, because they know how to take nature and what's in front of them and understand it from a root perspective, in a deeply rooted perspective. Because here, like when you say touch, you could touch somebody by feeling somebody. Like, I feel you, or you feel me. So they know how to practically feel somebody. So a lot of times, if they can't show it, they may do it by giving you something of theirs or something material of theirs or things of that nature. But a lot of times they know how to express it through the yin realm also, like music and creativity and art and drawing and metaphysics and contrasting metaphor with nature and things of that nature. Also, when we talk about earth signs and how they can have like taste. Now the real reality based one, they have to taste it. Some you have to put in your mouth. They may like foods too, and they all like foods. You know what I'm saying? Earth signs, they like to taste things too. But earth signs have good taste. They like to do things in taste, good favor. You know what I'm saying? They got flavor. You know what I'm saying? So you a lot of times it's hard to catch an earth sign act out of their character. You see, that's what that means. You know what I'm saying? That's what that means. That's all that means. Also, smell, you know what I'm saying? When you talk about smell, that's fumes and things of that nature. That's information. You're receiving something that's traveling through the air. So that's knowledge. So you know what I'm saying? A lot of earth signs can smell when something's up. They smell alternative motives. They smell something. A lot of earth signs can smell when something's funny. What is the rock? Let me type that in right now. What is the rock? I'm gonna find out right now. That's crazy. Because if this motherfucker is an earth sign, that's crazy. The rock zodiac.
Here is information from Astro Theme.
May mother what? Oh no, he ain't no, he a fucking Gemini. No, you're fucking Taurus. May 2nd. What the fuck? Hey, that shit was live, nigga. That shit was live. I just did that just now. The Rock, Dwayne motherfucking Johnson, born May 2nd, 1972 at 6:02 p.m. He a fucking and Capricorn moon, Capricorn cusp between Aquarius. So you know what I'm saying? He that's why he had that good, unique way of talking, good unique voice. But he made way with it, initiated ways of for his practical life. The nigga a fucking Taurus. Smell what his name is The Rock. Taurus sun, Capricorn moon. The Rock. And that's crazy. Like, damn. Damn, they smell with something funny. Did you smell with The Rock? Hey, that's crazy. That's hey, he's gonna eat that motherfucking poutine pie too, wasn't he? Because they like to do things in reality. Things that's practical. Things that's earth-like. So when you talk about earth needs foundation, forms of stability. So anything that's working, anything that makes sense, that's where the energy gonna go. Now energy likes to join other energies too. So like that means energy likes to join. So that means energies when it comes to earth signs like to be touched. They like to be touched in some type of way. If you could touch them emotionally, that's an A+. But a lot of times they might just want a hug. They might just want you to touch them in a certain way, and that's how you let them know you interested. A lot of times water signs may need some emotional stance or some expression of you to let them know that you're interested. Sometimes air may need some type of communication style to let them know you're interested in them. Sometimes fire gotta see the way you see something, or or once again see how you feel about something, to see if you're interested. So a lot of times fire signs have to actually express. This is what makes fire signs a lot of times be the first person to say something to go into a relationship. But a lot of times, when it comes to the earth signs, a lot of times, shit, if you touch them too much, that's gonna let them know. They're gonna be like, oh, this person must like me. They like touching me or something like that. You see what I'm saying? Or if you were around an earth sign and a person always touching you, they may be an earth sign. You might be like, damn, why does this motherfucker keep touching me? You know what I'm saying? You may got an earth sign that like you. That's around you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? The earth element plays in a lot of different roles, man. This things is crazy. Don't ever think an earth sign ain't deep just because they only showing you their sunny side. Just because they only trying to show you, just because they only showing you reality. Just because they only showing you what's practical. Just because they only showing you their tree and their tree branch and their tree leaves. Don't always think that. Don't always think you're getting over, because you could be thinking like, okay, yeah, this is something. I can use them as a crutch. I can use them as a foundation. I can just use them to lean on. Yeah, they might let you do that because that's what a tree like to do sometimes. A tree that got some fruit on it, yeah, you can eat from that fruit. You can eat from that fruit sometimes. You could hide from the rain sometimes and the sunlight sometimes. You could need something to fall back on and lean for your back don't hurt because you were standing all day. You could lean on the tree sometimes though, but don't ever in your fucking mind think that it ain't a motherfucking deep rooted understanding to them motherfuckers. And don't think that they won't manipulate your ass in a quick second. You know what I'm saying? And may just drop a bad fruit on your ass. You may just eat a fruit from that tree that make your ass sick because your ass was hanging around and being too clingy too much onto what the fuck they got to give the offer. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget that. Don't forget that shit. Don't forget that you may lean with your elbow on the tree too long and motherfucker might bruise your elbow. Look at your elbow, it's all ashy and scratched up and shit. Don't forget. Hey, back the fuck up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's what the earth sign gonna start to feel like. Don't forget. Don't motherfucking forget. Can't use all my resources. Can't use all my natural resources, all my energy, all my stabilities. You know what I'm saying? Better go out and get your own. You see what I'm saying? That's how earth signs gonna motherfucking think. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna break it down when it comes to the motherfucking and don't ever think, because they can get deep and dark too. So motherfucker, don't ever steal either. If that's not fruit or something that you're supposed to be taking from that tree and you come over there and take it, hey, they think deeply about that shit, right? And they can get real revengeful also. You know what I'm saying? And come up with some type of material thing to kill your ass with. Because they got the practicality and they know to make sense out of it, to know what to get to utilize against your ass. So they may not utilize words. They may not even utilize actions. They may be calm, cool, and collected. And when your ass least the motherfucking expect it, you got some fucking earth stabbed in your motherfucking back. Something real sharp. So, earth signs. When you're around fire, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you just be in the foundation. Make sure you just see and receive the light. But make sure you're not just being too sturdy. Make sure you transform a little bit. You got to melt a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because you're just going to cause the fire to try to burn, try to be overexpressive, and that's going to cause clashes all the time. And you know what I'm saying? It's just always going to cause a clash. So, you know what I'm saying? You don't never want to clash. You know what I'm saying? You just want to you want to see the light. I know you see this, you see the expression. You know what I'm saying? Just you can make that motherfucker calm down, but you know what I'm saying? You don't want to clash. Let the fire express itself and transform, move around a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get out of your own bricked it. Sometimes get out and move around. Take one block and move sometimes, or melt a little bit. Let the fire melt you a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So you could take another shape and form and see things another way. You know what I'm saying? Your building might have been this way for so long. If it just melted, you know what I'm saying, a certain way and caught different lights, you could see things a whole different way. You may not see something and do something you never thought you could do before. Being around a fire sign. You know what I'm saying? Earth signs when you're around air. You know what I'm saying? Make sure, make sure once again you're not being too sturdy. Just budge a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I know you could budge. You know, I know they could clean you up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You might have certain people might do graffiti on you and things of that nature, aka you may got a few scar wounds from the past. People may have said certain things that you wear on your sleeve on, so you got graffiti on you, aka, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you know what I'm saying, the air could clean you. You know what I'm saying? The air could blow a lot of that dust off and shit like that. You just listen to an air sign sometimes. Listen to their communications and their thoughts sometimes. Don't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna be here and stay sturdy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you could use an air sign in a second. You could use them to clean you up all the time, aka use them for their ideas. And since you don't move, you just stay in one place. All that information and shit you got from that air sign, you be the one who end up making money off that shit instead of foundation. So y'all motherfuckers, y'all know how to do that shit though. But you know what I'm saying? You know, get out and be more social though. You know what I'm saying? Let a few dust particles fly off the building sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Breeze off. Let a few leaves pluck off, even if it ain't fall. Let a few leaves pluck off the tree and blow in the wind sometimes and experience new information and shit. Don't just be so fixated on what you think sometimes. Be open to new ideas sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Even if it's uncomfortable. And when you're around a water sign, you know what I'm saying? Try not to use up, because you can utilize them motherfuckers too for all their emotions and feelings, all their inspirations and all their goals and shit, and then make money off them too. Try not to soak up all the water off the land and shit just based upon because you want to grow, aka using somebody else for your growth, your stability. You know what I'm saying? Try not to do that too much. You know what I'm saying? That water could be emotionally drained. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to drain this. You know what I'm saying? Water signs could get emotionally drained around earth signs. See, people don't know that. You know what I'm saying? But your ass know that. Your ass, the land drinking up all the goddamn water and shit, and it's like that water is fucking don't this absorbed all into you. They put all their emotions and passions in your goals and shit like that, and you just using them, manipulating them, cheating on them, and shit like that, and going out and just thinking, oh hey, whatever works for me, whatever, I don't care how that person feel. I ain't gotta answer the phone right now. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of fucked up using someone's water, aka emotions and feelings, for your foundation when your ass supposed to be the foundation. Don't be that kind of earth motherfucker. Don't. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the earth signs, motherfucker. Flight boss, bitch. Goddamn, that's the goddamn earth element. Hold on, did I do the air? Fire, water, air. Flights.